Most people believe following the crowd is the safest way to invest. If that's true, why do so many ordinary investors end up buying high, selling low, and struggling to build lasting wealth? If someone wants financial freedom rather than short-term excitement, what mindset separates smart investors from everyone else?
That's a great place to start because our brains are wired for survival, not investing. Thousands of years ago, staying with the crowd increased your chances of staying alive. Today, that same instinct often leads people into expensive mistakes. When everyone is rushing to buy a stock because it's all over social media, our minds whisper, "Don't be left behind." That's fear of missing out, not intelligent investing. The strange thing is that by the time an investment becomes everyone's favorite conversation, much of the opportunity has already disappeared. Smart investors understand that popularity and value are rarely the same thing. They ask a different question. Instead of asking, "What is everyone buying?" they ask, "What is this actually worth?" Think about a supermarket. If your favorite food suddenly doubled in price overnight, you probably wouldn't celebrate by buying more. Yet investors often do exactly that with stocks, simply because prices are rising. Markets have a funny way of rewarding patience and punishing excitement. History repeats this lesson. During nearly every major market boom, people convinced themselves that this time is different. Then reality returned. Those who stayed disciplined usually recovered and grew wealth over time, while emotional investors chased headlines and locked in losses. One of the biggest myths is that successful investing requires predicting the future. It doesn't. It requires managing your emotions better than most people. Emotional discipline is often more valuable than a high IQ. You don't need to know everything. You simply need to avoid making decisions driven by fear and greed. Here's where it gets interesting. The crowd isn't always wrong. Sometimes it's right. The problem is that the crowd usually reacts emotionally rather than thoughtfully. Smart investors aren't trying to be different just for the sake of it. They're willing to agree with the crowd when the facts support it and walk away when emotions take over. I like to think of investing as planting a tree. You don't dig it up every week to check whether it's growing. You water it, protect it, and give it time. Wealth works much the same way. Compounding needs patience more than perfection. If you want to think independently, create simple habits. Have a plan before you invest. Ignore daily market noise. Focus on businesses instead of headlines. Keep learning. Most importantly, remember that financial freedom is built through consistent decisions, not dramatic ones. The investors who quietly build lasting wealth rarely make the loudest headlines. While everyone else is chasing the next big thing, they're following a strategy, staying patient, and allowing time to become their greatest investment partner. That's the real secret. Smart investors don't ignore the crowd because they're smarter. They ignore it because they understand human psychology better than the crowd understands itself.
What a powerful conversation. The biggest takeaway today is that successful investing isn't about following the loudest voices. It's about mastering your own thinking. The market will always be full of noise, hype, fear, and excitement, but lasting wealth is usually built by those who stay patient, disciplined, and focused on the long term. If this episode gave you a new perspective, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who's serious about building financial freedom. And if you enjoyed today's discussion, be sure to subscribe so you never miss our future conversations on wealth, investing, and the psychology behind smart financial decisions. Thanks for listening, and until next time, keep learning, keep investing wisely, and remember, the best investment you'll ever make is in the way you think. Take care.